Hello and welcome back to the car wrap design tutorial. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 3 yet, I highly suggest that you do so. This is part 4. So in this video, we're going to discuss breaking up each file to get ready for print and how to crop your Photoshop document. So first, we're going to select our rectangle. I went ahead and named each panel. This way it's better organized and I know which layer I am cropping. So this rectangle comes in as a smart object or smart image. So I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to rasterize it. This will then allow me to make sure again the layer is still selected, and I'm going to take the magic wand tool and I'm just going to select it. This will have my marching ants around the border of the hood that we laid out in the previous video. Now I can go ahead and turn off my hood layer, my template layer. Now I'm just left with this orange piece. So I'm going to hit image and crop. This now brings down a 2-scale, close to scale size of our hood. And I'm going to right click on the layers over here and I'm just going to flatten the image as a whole. Discard hidden layers, doesn't matter. Now we have this at 52¼ by 68 high. I'm going to go ahead and hit File, Save As. Make sure I got a Files to Print folder. And I'm just going to name this Hood to Print. And depending on your printer, most printers prefer to upload a TIFF file. It's easier to read, it's easier to manage. So I'm going to go ahead, Files to Print, Hood to Print, save as a TIFF. Done. Hood is done. Now I'm going to Control Z and back out of there. So the hood's done. I'm going to get rid of that. Now we start again, the same process. We're on the roof. Want to right click, rasterize, click our magic wand tool, select, deselect, template off, roof off, image, crop. There's our roof. We'll go ahead and make sure here we got 68 wide by 57 high. So our printers are going to run vertical files. Now you could do this in the RIP software of whatever printer that you're working with, but I find it makes it easier and less of a headache to rotate your document. Now we'll have it at 68 high by 57 wide. And I know now, save as, roof. To print, saved as a TIFF. Done. Yep. Oh, I don't see. I'm glad that came up. I'm actually going to cancel that save and make sure that we flatten the image. This way it compresses and it's smaller. It will not change your quality. That is as pixelated as it's going to get. Your print size is still crisp. I mentioned that in video 3. So now that it's flattened and we can save it as roof. Roof to print, saved as a TIFF. Okay. Now we're going to do it again. Control Z, our way out of here. I'm going to go all the way back this way we can see what we're working on. Roof is done. Going to make sure we can't see it anymore. Now we're on to the trunk. Right click, rasterize, magic wand, select, take it away, take it away. We're going to have to take our spoiler away here too because it's kind of in our same file. And here, It's actually a really good thing that happened because I'm going to be able to show you how to fix this. We don't want this in our trunk file. We agreed in the last video that our trunk file is going to be a solid blue to match our bumper and to match the sides, as you can see, faded. So, I'm going to take the eyedropper tool with my marching ants still over my trunk. Select that, get my brush, make sure my brush size is big. I want the hardness to be up. And I'm going to go ahead and select our design layer because that's the one that we're going to be coloring in. And if you notice, it's not coloring anything out here because it's coloring everything inside my selection where my marching ants are. So now that that's selected, again, working from the trunk is deselected, spoiler's not in the way anymore. I'm going to image, crop, and there we have the trunk. So, I'm going to flatten this image, click OK, and so the trunk here is 57 high by 29 wide. So we know that our film, just like the roof, is 60 wide. So we want to do image rotation, clockwise, 90 degrees. Now we have our width set ready to be printed. I'm going to click File, Save As. Image is flattened. This is the trunk. To print. Trunk is done. Control Z. I'm going to go all the way back just to make sure. But I don't want to go back past that, so I'm going to make sure that we have our blue in there. Also going to make sure we have our blue in for the spoiler. So, spoiler is going to be completely blue as well. So again, right click, magic wand, select, and back here you can see my design layer did not extend all the way as I had hoped. That's fine. We just color it in now. Take off the spoiler, go down to the design layer again. The blue was already selected from the trunk edit. We're just going to go ahead and make sure this entire thing is filled in. Now, click on my spoiler again, magic wand it, make sure we don't miss. Deselect the spoiler. If your template was on, turn the template off. Go ahead and crop. Image, crop. Now this is where it gets a little tricky because we have a file here that is 21 wide by 72.9 high. So we're going to want to pair this with something else that's small. What is something else that's small that we can pair this so we're not wasting a lot of film? Our mirrors. Our mirrors are only 20 wide and we got 2 of them. So we could stack our mirrors next to the spoiler. First, I'm going to flatten the image. I'm going to go ahead and save this as the spoiler. This way we have a separate file. Then I'm going to come up to Image, Canvas Size. Make sure it's not image size. And you're going to click this bottom right corner. And I'm only going to change the width. And I know that this will fit on a 48-inch roll of film. And the black, we don't want it to print black. We want it to print white. We can just select where it was black, come down here, change our color to white, make sure we have white. Our film is white, the printer will not print white. If the black was there, it would print black. That's why I have these files here with white to the left. Now that we have the spoiler in, I'm going to go ahead and do the mirrors next, because the sides take a little bit more explaining. So again, the mirrors, I've already rasterized them. I'm going to take the driver off. I'm going to take the template off. Magic wand tool, select. Take the mirror off again. Image, crop. Now I can do flatten image. Make sure not to hit save or control S when you do that, because it will save over your stuff and you might lose it. So now I'm going to come over here, I'm going to take the lock off, I'm going to hit control C, come over to the spoiler, paste it, control V. I'm going to do a duplication down here. It's in the same spot, hold shift, bring it up, and I'm going to select from here, right click, flip vertical. Now we have our passenger side and our driver side mirrors on the spoiler print file. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I save this as a TIFF. I want to name it mirror driver side to print. Make sure I reflect it vertically. It could be horizontally too, as long as it's mirrored. Save as again. Come down here. Pass side mirror. Saved as a TIFF, flattened. Now, we can go back to this. We will be coming back to that shortly. Spoiler to print file. It is not just the spoiler anymore. It is the spoiler and mirrors to print. Now you can go ahead and know that your spoiler and mirrors file is your print file. Your spoiler file you don't have to print anymore, or you don't have to send it to whoever will be doing the printing for you. So we can go ahead and get out of... Actually, I'm going to go back and make sure that everything I have here is saved properly under my template. And I'm just going to call this charger, if I can spell it right, top template working. Save it as a TIFF just because. Now that that's done, again, save this file as the rear bumper. Make sure it's flattened first. Save as, file to print. It's a TIFF, rear bumper to print. Saved. Gone. Next. Rasterize. Flatten. Wherever flatten is. I know it's in here somewhere. Flatten image. File. Save as. Want to do front bumper to print. Saved as a TIFF. Flattened. And go by. Also gone. Now, the sides. I'm going to deselect our mirror here to make sure that we're not having that in our way. We got our driver side. It has been rasterized. Again, same process. Take the magic wand tool, select so that your marching ants cover the selected area that we marked out in the last video. Deselect your driver, deselect your template. Here, that's alright up there. It's all blue down there. And that is in the wheel well. This design should not mess with your front bumper. So, selected marching ants, templates off. We're going to go ahead and flatten. Image, crop. Reason why I flattened there first was so that the crop did not take a super long time to render. Now again, I know that this is 57 tall. I want it to be 57 wide for the sake of loading it into the printer again. Image rotation, 90 degrees, and there you have it. Now we know we save this as our driver side to print. We can do the exact same thing we did with the mirrors. Unlock your layer, right click it, flip horizontal. Now we have our passenger side. Go ahead and save this as pass side to print. This is done, and this is your last. I'm going to go ahead and go back, make sure that I save this final as charger driver side template working. Now I have my finals. I'm going to go ahead and just show you here how well and organized this can be. We've got driver side, passenger side, driver mirror, passenger mirror, hood, roof, trunk, spoiler, front bumper, rear bumper, spoiler and mirror file. Easy, quick, able to do on Photoshop. This is part 4 of the tutorial and the final part. Thank you guys so much for watching and following along. I really wish you the best with this. It's not as complicated as some people make it seem. The bumpers, I understand, can be difficult depending on your design. In future videos, I will discuss a more complicated design and how to get around the ways to deal with patterns and other things that might look like they don't match up, but there are cheat codes and ways to do it. So thanks for watching, and good luck to you designing.